Yesterday, my Senate colleagues at the end of the day talked about the people that were in the rotunda during the day that were lobbying for the increase of minimum wage. And I come from the private sector, and I'd like to point out a few things. There's a convenience store chain in York County that advertises on their front door they will start you at $9.05 an hour. And if you're good, they will fast track you to over $10 an hour, probably within a 30, 60, 90 day. But there's some ingredients that are missing with a lot of the workers, and I appreciate the people that were here yesterday, and they most likely were being paid. They were paid yesterday to appear by the unions that they work for. And I'd like to point out that I did notice some T-shirts from the liquor union, and I'd like to point out that I think Wendell Young makes somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000, so I'm just curious how their wages are working out with his wages. But let's talk about something that I think is more important. There are a lot of jobs out there in the market. I talked to someone in my company yesterday. They called me, one of my managers. She called a roofing company, and she needed a roof replaced on her home. The roofing company said, we're not taking any more jobs, and it's early in the roofing season, and she asked why. They responded that they couldn't find workers. So the workers that are down here in the hallways looking for work, I'd be happy to give them some numbers of employers in York that would probably pay wages somewhere between $12 and $15 an hour. But there are a couple things required. Number one, you would have to have an alarm clock, and you would have to be able to get out of bed. You would be able to have to pass a drug test, and you would have to have some work ethic. And this is a problem, and it is all over this country. I have a friend that has fast food restaurants. Periodically, I don't go into fast food restaurants every now and then, but maybe I'll stop for a coffee. And periodically, you'll notice somebody behind the counter on a cell phone, either talking on the cell phone or texting, and that's clearly against the company policy. And you'll look around, and anywhere you go, there are younger workers with their pants hanging down, rear ends hanging out. They really don't care about their appearance. And it talks, and then there's behavior. I don't care if you pay somebody $20 an hour. If they have a certain behavior, it's not going to change their behavior, and this is realism. The other problem we have is that we have given out so many government benefits over the last 5 years that we have more people riding the wagon than pulling the wagon. In York County, and I talk about jobs, our Manufacturers Association of South Central Pennsylvania has identified 3,500 jobs for skilled workers that are available now. There are forklift jobs paying $12 an hour, and you can be hired if you can pass a drug test, be there, and meet minimum requirements, and they will train you. And recently, the Manufacturers Association participated in a program where they started out with 12 people in the program. When the program was finally over and ended, they had 2 employees. It had to do with work ethic, getting out of bed, passing drug tests, and it's really unfortunate. There are a lot of jobs out there for people who want to work that are far greater than $7.20 an hour and greater than $10.10 an hour being proposed. So I think I come from the private sector. I have a totally different opinion, and if my colleagues on the other side of the aisle don't believe me, spend a day or two with me, and we'll go around and we'll talk to employers, and we'll show you what the real world's all about, because again, this building does not have a great connection with the real world. So anyway, there are jobs out there, and I appreciate the people, I appreciate their opinions that came here yesterday, but I don't agree with a lot of the policies and positions.